Welcome to this astrologically led yoga practice, guided by the energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is symbolized by the mountain goat, the energy of ambition, structure, and long-term goals, climbing to the top of the metaphorical mountain. Ruled by Saturn, the planet of responsibility, commitment, and steady growth, Capricorn reminds us that in order to build something that lasts the test of time, we need to create a solid foundation. In today's practice, we'll work with the bones, the part of the body that Capricorn rules. Our bones are our scaffolding. They give us structure, alignment, and support. When we move from our bones, we move with integrity. This is an opportunity to feel into your foundation, strengthen it, and allow it to serve as the structure that supports you in growing towards your dreams. When you're ready, unroll your mat and let's begin. If you're listening to the playlist for this class, which you can find below, go ahead and hit play, get yourself set up on your mat, and I'll meet you down on your back in a constructive rest position. So taking your time to find your way down onto your spine, bringing the feet around mat distance apart, and allowing the knees to knock in toward one another. Take a moment to set yourself up here, to find length through the back of the body, from the tailbone all the way up into the back of the skull. Maybe the arms land alongside your torso, and perhaps a hand to the belly or the heart. Tapping in with what feels right, what feels intuitive for you today. And as you land, however that might look, start to draw your awareness to the breath. The soft wave in with each inhale, and the softening, the out with each exhale. Notice the air fill your body, the lungs, your belly, and then the belly soften back towards the spine as you let the air out. Notice how full the breath might feel today, and where it travels throughout the body. Perhaps starting to elongate your exhales, to draw the breath out a little longer as we begin to tap into our rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system. Become aware of the parts of your body that make contact with the mat or the earth beneath. The places where your skin is held by the support of the ground. Maybe starting to trace this boundary that separates you from the world around you. Noticing your skin wrapping around the bones, the soles of the feet, weaving its way up the calves, across the knees and the thighs, the front and back of the hips, the belly, the chest, the lower back, the upper back, across the shoulders, the upper arms, the lower arms to fingers, and around the neck, the face, and the back of the head. Notice this quality of containment, of support. Allow it to hold you. And then dropping in another layer, maybe beginning to visualize your bones supported within the skin, tracing their shape, how they feel, what quality they have. Is there a feeling of stability, of structure? Visualizing your entire skeleton within. Our bones create the support and the alignment needed to move our way through the world. To connect with this inner strength. Notice gravity pouring through the bones. The feeling of the knees dropping into the hips. The length of the shin bones. The soft architecture, the curves of the spine. The solidity of the upper arm bones connecting shoulder to elbow. Start to get curious about what this feels like inside of you and how you might be able to move from this inner place to start your movement from this place of foundation and structure. And keeping this idea of moving from the skeleton, moving from the bones. Start to find a few gentle movements through the fingers. Curling the fingers in toward the palms. Opening and closing the hands, maybe flexing through the wrists. Allow that movement to ripple up the arms, bending into the elbows. Be lengthening the hands up toward the sky. Find direction by actively articulating each and every joint. Bending and straightening. Lengthening, contracting. And allow the arms to fall back down alongside the body. And this time inviting exploration into the legs. Bending and lengthening through one leg and maybe the other. Maybe finding a few circles through the knees or the ankles. Noticing the joint space where the bones connect. And how there's fluidity, how there's space for movement within this structure. You might play with lengthening both of the legs up toward the sky. Imagining gravity pouring down through the heels, all the way into the knees, to the hips, and then exiting into the earth. And as you're ready, find a bend back into the knees. Plant the feet back down to the earth, stacking the heels under the knees. As you find your breath in, tuck the tailbone, lengthen it toward the top of the mat. And then inhale piece by piece, vertebrae by vertebrae, articulating your spine up into a bridge. Exhale to weave your way back down. Inhale, plug the heels into the earth, float the hips to the sky. And exhale to soften down. Find a few more of these in your own time. What does it feel like to actively move and connect with each and every vertebrae of the spine? To find stability from the inside to out. The next time you lengthen your hips up toward the sky, take a moment to pause here. Maybe you draw one knee in towards your chest, lengthening the toes to the sky. Keep driving the floor away through the sole of the grounded foot, lengthening the opposite heel up toward the sky. Then leg softens back down to the earth as you pull the opposite knee in toward the chest, lengthening the foot up towards the sky. Take a breath in here at the top, press the floor away. And then exhale to ground both heels back down, to slowly weave your spine back down toward the earth. As you land, knees hug in toward the chest, maybe finding an interlace of the hands over the shins, perhaps a rock from side to side. Notice the shift of your weight across the pelvis, the lower back. Maybe find a few circles through the knees, imagining the femur rotating into the hip socket. And then as you're ready, we'll find a few rock and rolls up and down the length of the spine. Coming into a seat on the shins at the back of the mat. Toes untuck, and the tops of the feet press down into the earth. Bring the palms to the thighs, and maybe drawing the eyes to a close. Notice the length of the spine, the stacking of each and every vertebrae. Then allow the arms to drape alongside the body and visualizing the head of your arm bone meeting the top of your shoulder. Can you imagine moving from that space, lifting the shoulders up towards the ears and then allowing the arms to fall back down? Drawing the shoulders up, shoulder blades rise, and arm bones fall, shoulders lower. A few more of these in your own time. Really noticing what it feels like to actively direct the bones versus allowing them to passively move. You might stay with this, or maybe those shakes start to turn into a rotation through the shoulders, circling the heads of the shoulders forward, and then changing directions, drawing them back in space. Then as you find your next inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Really think of reaching in, lengthening through the fingertips upwards as you anchor down through the hips, downwards. And on the breath out, draw hands down through heart center. Right fingertips land behind, left hand lands to the outside of the right knee, finding a twist to the right. Imagine the rib cage circling around the heart here as you open. And keeping your left hand as it is, float the right hand up and overhead, lengthening the fingertips to the left as you find a side bend. Breathe space between each and every rib through the rib cage. And then on the breath out, keeping the left hand as it is, right hand circles to the left knee, rounding your way forward, finding a cat shape through the spine. Full inhale here. And then on the exhale, hands lengthen back up toward the sky. This time on the breath out, find your twist toward the left. Left fingertips land behind, right hand to the left knee. Inhale to widen, broaden through the collarbones. Imagine the spine as a spiral staircase weaving its way around the organs at the center of the body. And keeping the left hand as it is, inhale, left hand reaches up and overhead. Open up space between your left armpit and your left hip. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, reach the left hand toward the right knee, grabbing a hold of the knees as you round through the spine. Fill the space between the shoulder blades with breath. And then as you exhale, release a hold of the knees and find your way forward into a tabletop. Take your time to set yourself up here, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Notice the stability of this shape as the palms of the hands anchor down into the earth. As you press the floor away, can you receive the energy of the earth beneath you? Let it radiate up your arms into the shoulders, from your knees up and toward the hips. And you might stay here tapping in with this feeling of stability, or maybe you find a few circles through the wrists. Noticing how it feels for your weight to shift into different parts of your bones. Maybe the fingertips spin back towards the knees. Lengthening the hips back toward the heels. Play with peeling the palms of the hands up off the earth and then grounding them back down.